happening? I just wanted to take a quick video. Kylie made a Facebook post earlier, and I think it's super important because it's a topic that can get a lot of us down, especially a lot of us if you're sort of working on your own. It can sort of get to you. If you missed the post, just scroll down and have a look. But it was basically just, a member of this group ran a session and she wasn't too happy with the session, and she was feeling a bit down, and that happens to all of us, okay? And what I think is important is how we recover from that. Okay, and I'm a big fan of learning. Okay, I love learning, and I think that making mistakes or failing is one of the best ways to learn. Okay, and it's I'm into a lot of personal development. That's a big thing in personal development. It's like, in school we're sort of taught that you need to get everything right, and if you make a mistake you're a failure and you're wrong, etc., etc. But in the real world it doesn't really work like that. It actually helps to fail, and I guess sorry, I should rephrase that. What's important is as long as you learn from that failure, okay? So say as a trainer, if you run a bad session, that's okay, as long as you understand why it was bad and you never make those mistakes again, okay? And I actually, someone made a quote, Mark, I think it was, he made an awesome quote in the statement, in the comments, sorry. And what he basically said was, if you run a bad session and you know it's a bad session, there's nothing wrong with that, because you just realize why it was a bad session, you fix it up, and then you never do it again. Done. What the issue is if you run a bad session, but you think it was a good session, all right? So if you run a session that all your participants think was a bad session, but you think it was a good session, then there's a problem there, okay? But as long as you know it was a bad session and you can fix those problems, it's okay, all right? And I guess to get into a bit more sort of detail on it, with my background, I have made heaps of bad sessions in the past 10 years, okay? The one thing and I think that's helped me be a good instructor, because when I started off, I was teaching like minimum 3 boot camps a day for every day for 6 days for years, So I was running like 18 boot camps a week for years. So from then, I made a lot of errors, but from each error, I learned from that. And it was in my advantage, I guess, because I made a lot of these screw-ups earlier in my career. So now that I've already made those screw-ups, I don't make them again, And another quote you sort of see is that mistakes are proof that you're trying, okay? Yeah, all right, if you've got a workout that works, you can just do that same workout every day. You just do a circuit every day and a Tabata every day and a boxing session every day. But it's going to get boring as hell if you just do that same workout. So it's important that you change it up, okay, and you try different things. And if it doesn't work, you just analyze, why didn't it work and what can I do to make it work next time? One thing I like doing, if I do a bad session, I analyze and I'm like, okay, why didn't it work? It worked in my head. Why didn't it work? Because that, and that. I'm going to do this session again in a month, but I'm going to fix these issues and I'm going to make it work, okay? And that's a cool way to sort of test yourself. The other thing, I guess, so it's obviously cool to try different things and, you make a mistake, you learn from it. But the other things I think is really important as well is to educate yourself as much as you can. I'm a huge fan of education, which is why I run an education company. But a couple of things I like to do to sort of minimize the chances of that session being bad is I try and participate in a group session or a boot camp every week. Someone else's, not my own. I try and participate in someone else's, and I sort of analyze, what they do and how I can integrate that, and the good things and the bad things. So I'll go to a session, I'll be like, okay, look, that probably wouldn't work with my group, but if I did it like this, it would work. Or if it works perfectly, sweet, I'm just going to take that and use it exactly with my group, okay? The other thing is I have a personal trainer, okay? He's probably watching this. If you're watching this, Jackson, give it a love heart. I've got a personal trainer, okay, who trains me 3 times a week. And I don't need a personal trainer, but I do it because it helps me accountable. But also it's another way of learning. I feel like I do 3 sessions with a personal trainer every week. I do a group class every week. I learn from these things. I also love courses. I love CEC courses. And it's funny, I speak to a lot of people and they hate them. They're like, oh, I'm doing your boot camp course because I got to get my CECs. They suck. And I'm like, haha, yeah. But really, I love them. Okay, I wish there were more of them. I would do them every weekend if I could, because I find that's another way to further yourself. And you see it. I see it every day with trainers that I speak to. The ones that legitimately want to do these courses to improve themselves are the ones that have awesome boot camps. The ones that's I guess how you further yourself is by doing these courses. All right. So I guess that's my summary there. If you run a bad session, don't sweat about it. Just analyze why it was bad and fix those points, and you learn things you can do to minimize those mistakes. Participate in other trainers' group classes and boot camps and learn from that. You may want to do some personal training sessions with a trainer. And then what was the other one? And then courses. do as many courses as you can. I know a company, Fitness Education Online, and they run awesome courses, so check them out. And sorry, the other thing is just conferences. I'm a huge fan of conferences. Okay, I'm presenting at Filex this year. I was in FitX in New Zealand last year. I was in IDEA in America last year. They're an awesome way to just sort of learn heaps of different things. And I guess, sorry, one more thing I just want to add is, even if you've been in the industry a while, I've been in the industry for ages, I'm running a successful bootcamp, I run bootcamp courses, but I'll still, every single seminar or course I go to, I will take at least one thing out, and those 1%ers can be the difference. You know, that you may just learn one thing, but that one thing can be the difference between you getting a client or not getting the client, or you keeping that client and not getting the client. So it all ends up worth it. Anyway, that's my my summary. Any questions, comment below. If you liked the video, just hit like so I liked it. So I know you liked it. Have a good night.